right work ethic and having a base knowledge of many aspects of radio and television, O'Donovan not only increases his chances of landing his first job, but also surviving in a competitive industry. With the recent tragic events that took place in Quebec and Ottawa, veterans at this local legion still understand the importance of not only wearing your poppy, but donning your uniform out in the public. Hi, I'm Kevin Maher. Coming up in sports, I've got Oops volleyball and hockey highlights, and for my end zone challenge, I take up snowboarding on the bunny hill. Along with NATSA, some students are encouraging their classmates to not only vote, but to be heard. On January 15, 2006, a suicide bombing attack in Afghanistan killed senior diplomat Glenn Berry and seriously injured 3 soldiers, including Master Corporal Paul Franklin. The attack had blown off Franklin's left leg and burned his hands and face. Within seconds after the bombing, Franklin knew he was down, but not out.
I wasn't dead yet. And as a medic, I knew that if I was not dead yet, then there's a chance that I'd survive. And I knew I wanted to make it home to my family and my son and my friends.
When word got out of the attack back home in Canada, Franklin's family and friends could not believe the news.
It was shocking, devastating. He was my best friend.
Dad got hurt. That's probably what I remember most, is Dad got hurt.
A year after the attack, Spooner was going on her first tour to Afghanistan. She knew she couldn't lean on her best friend as Franklin was dealing with the aftermath of 28 surgeries, including amputating his right leg due to infection.
You know, I'm over there and he knows the experiences, and I couldn't talk to him about it. It was very challenging.
While Franklin could have easily let this life-altering incident ruin the rest of his life, instead, he's used his story to not only inspire millions, but to be a voice for amputees all across Canada. Franklin, along with doctors and specialists from the Glenrose Rehabilitation Hospital, created the Franklin Foundation in hopes of raising funds for much-needed amputee research and technology. To date, they have raised about $315,000 for the Amputee Coalition of Canada, a nonprofit organization that works to improve and advance the quality of life for those who have lost limbs.
Instead of making little minor strides, we're making massive strides.
Those strides include Glenrose doctors working on a bionic arm. Meanwhile, Franklin's son, who was 6 at the time of the attack, couldn't be prouder of his dad.
Isn't that awesome?
Mm-hmm. He's a little bit more than just your regular day hero.
You guys run around sand dunes with these?
That'd be cool.
Although Franklin just sees himself as your everyday man.
I don't consider myself a hero or any of that other stuff. It's just, I'm just a dude that's just trying to get things done.
Kevin Maher, Nate News Watch Extra. I was joined by Angie Garrett from the Dive Outfitters as she began to teach me the proper hand signals for underwater.
So basic, okay, up, down, that's what we'll mostly use that tonight.
Then it was time to get familiar with my buoyancy control device, or otherwise known as a BCD.
This is our pressure gauge. This is going to tell us approximately how much air we have left in the tank.
Once we filled my tank up to 3,000 psi, it was time for me to gracefully pull on my wetsuit, slap on my fins, and head into the water. Now that I had my feet wet in the scuba lesson, it was time to start testing out the equipment, with some help.
So let's just try and go down on our knees, okay?
Well, I certainly look like a natural. Almost need windshield wipers. Once I defogged my goggles, I was finally able to slow down my breathing. I started exploring the pool and was taught how to remove water from my goggles.
All you want to do is put a little bit of pressure on your forehead, like this. Okay, slight tilt of your head and blow out through your nose.
After I nailed that down, it was time for some fun. I eventually made my way to the deep end, where I became more relaxed over time. In the end, scuba diving was A-OK in my books. Saddle up! The best collegiate cowboys and cowgirls across Canada rode into the capital city this past weekend for the Canadian College Finals Rodeo. The 2015 CSCFR saw 120 athletes representing 18 schools across Western Canada, all competing for the championship buckles in 10 events. Nate was well represented in the rodeo from the likes of Riley Boris in the bareback event to Brett Jansen with the bull riding. Young chefs are putting their cooking skills to the test. Nate hosted the 8th annual High School Culinary Challenge. 16 local high schools chopped, sliced, and stirred in hopes of bringing home top honors. A panel of kitchen judges were on hand to grade the teams on organization, presentation, and most importantly, taste.
And you have been invaluable. I speak for everybody on this team. You've been just invaluable, Kevin.
Thank you very much. It's, even though it's only been 4 months, it's just been a time of my life, and I'm definitely going to take these friendships I've made here and take them with me. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and I'm just really thrilled that I was able to work with all of you.